In this video, I'm going to show you how to increase organic traffic for your website using InfraNodus AI-powered knowledge graph and Google Search Console, a great tool that can help you push your website to the top of Google search results. In fact, I use this approach to promote my website myself, for example, for this search query, network visualization tools. And as you can see, InfraNodus, the tool that I developed, is on the 4th organic position. So that means that it's getting much more clicks than the competitors. So I'm going to show you how you can achieve the same results using Google Search Console and InfraNodus Knowledge Graph, and how you can use the new filtering feature inside InfraNodus to find low competition, high impression keywords. So you will learn how to do all that, and then you can apply it to your own business, SaaS business or website. So what will be the approach that we'll be using to increase the organic traffic to our website? Well, first of all, we will use information from Google Search Console, the tool that is provided by Google itself that shows you which queries people use to find your website. If you have a website, you can register a website there, and then after a few weeks, you will have enough information here. And basically what it shows are the search queries that people use to find your website, the number of clicks on each of those search queries, impressions and click-through rate, and position, right? So you have this information, how people actually find your website, what keywords they're already using. And probably you will not be at the first positions at the very beginning. So what you want to target are the keywords which naturally have a high number of impressions. So that means that your website shows up in search results, but your position is relatively high up. So maybe you're on the first 10 positions, but you're not at the first 3, so no one is clicking, because normally people click only on the first top 3 results, and then the rest of them get very low clicks. But for example, if your website is on the position 9 or something like this, then you have a high chance to promote it in organic search results, like for example, what I have, let's say here, because it means that it's almost at the top, but not yet. So almost no one is clicking it. But if you move just one position up, then you would get much more clicks. So this is the keywords that you want to target. And this is the approach that a lot of people actually use to achieve these results. And you can do this filtering to kind of find the position that is not too low and also high number of impressions using the table inside Google Search Console. But there is a much easier way where you can export this data as a CSV file, and then you import it inside InfraNodus, and InfraNodus will show you a graph that will visualize all those keywords as a network. You will see which ones are more relevant, which keyword combinations people use to find your content. So that gives you a really clear visual overview of the keywords you should target. It also has a built-in AI topic generation mechanisms that identifies the topical clusters, so you understand kind of on a high level how Google sees your website and what topics you should focus on to promote it. So for example, here I see that for InfraNodus, it's text analysis, graph visualization, keyword research, and web scraping here. All right. And then what it allows me to do is to apply multiple filters where I can actually see how to make people find my website using the keywords that have a high number of impressions. So for example, here I choose high number of impressions. I'm going to ask to highlight them, and that's actually almost all the keyword combinations have high number of impressions, so this is good. And then I will tell it, okay, but show me something where the click-through rate is low. So the CTR is below 3%, which is normally not so good, but there is some CTR, so it means that people are clicking on it, all right? So I choose this, then I ask InfraNodus to create an intersection of those two filters for me. And here we go. I see a subset of keyword combinations where I have a very high potential, all right? And these are the keywords that I'm going to target. So I'm going to show you how that works. And in fact, as you can see, graph visualization was one of them here, and this is also network visualization as well was one of them, and this is the one that I actually optimized for. So if you see here, I have a private page that is using the search network visualization tools, and here I got to the top 4 positions with this page. So that approach works, and I use it a lot to promote other websites as well. So let me demonstrate how you can achieve the same results using InfraNodus and Google Search Console. So first of all, you will need to create a new graph, and in InfraNodus using the data from Google Search Console. And by the way, this data is also available in Google Analytics. If you go to your property and then you go to Search Console queries, you actually have the same data if you connected it to your Search Console, which you can export here in Share and then download file and choose CSV. So you can get this data here, but I actually prefer to use the file from Google Search Console because it's cleaner and it's just easier to work with. So I would recommend to use that file. And you get that file, you download it here in the export download CSV. It's available performance, search results, then you have these results, 3 months I choose, then export CSV. Okay, I have the file, and then I will go to InfraNodus, upload file. I choose that CSV, it's going to be the queries file because that's what I'm interested in. I'm analyzing the search queries. Click open, then next, and then first I select the column that I'm going to analyze as a graph. So I'm going to use top queries, but I'm also going to add the position because I just want to have it for reference. The numbers are not going to be in the graph, but it's useful to have them next to queries. So I'm selecting those 2 columns, top queries and position, as the columns to analyze. Then I click next, and then I choose clicks, impressions, CTR, and position as the columns, which I will use as filters. And you will see how powerful it is just in a very short time. So I'm selecting those 4 columns as filters, and what InfraNodus is going to do is that it's going to divide all the positions that you have in those columns into quantile buckets, and then I will be able to use them to filter the graph by the number of impressions and clicks. All right, so I choose these 4 columns as filters. I click next, then I give it a new name. So for example, InfraNodus results here, then click Visualize. What happens is that InfraNodus visualizes all the keyword combinations that you find here, 1,000 of them. Each keyword is a node, each co-occurrence is the connection, so I can clearly see on the graph which keywords tend to be used more often together when people find my website. So this already provides me a really nice visual overview of how Google sees my website and also how people find my website. So here I can see that, for instance, text analysis is a big topic, graph visualization, keyword research, web scraping. And then there are more topics here, word generator, product reviews, and so on, right? So already this representation gives me a very good idea of what I should focus on if I want to make sure that Google pushes my website organically to the top of Google search results. Because if it already shows it for text analysis, this is a topical cluster that people find me for, and therefore I should make more content where I would use those keywords to promote this particular topic, right? And I could maybe make articles on text analysis, also talk about different tools, because as you can see here, tool is a big keyword here, analysis. So if I click those 2, I can see the actual search terms that people use. So for example, AI tools for thematic analysis, text analysis tool, AI text analysis tool. So that just shows me that, okay, I should focus on AI text analysis tool. If I like what I see, I can actually copy those selected nodes and then paste them to the project nodes here. And then I will be able to have them saved later for future reference. And I can do this in a few iterations. So this is actually why Graph is so useful, because it gives me an option to kind of dive into this content without having to scroll this boring table and trying to apply those filters. And it's not always working so well there. So it's like just much better to use the Graph, because then I can visualize everything, detect the patterns, and then, you know, get some insights already just from looking at it. And it's going to get much more powerful in a second. I'm going to demonstrate. But first, okay, I identified that text analysis, AI text analysis is a pretty good keyword. I can actually also choose this combination like that because they're bigger, they have the same colors, so it means they belong to the same context. And I will copy probably one of them. I see that it's on the position 19, so it's on the second page. So this is something I should target, but maybe the first one is this one, text analysis tool AI, because I'm on the 7th position there. So I have a much higher chance to get to position 5 or 6, and then I'm going to get more clicks. So I'm going to copy that search query and also paste it to my project notes, because this can be quite interesting as well. Then we're going to move on and analyze more data. So for example, here, let's say I also see something about keywords. And if I go to relations here, I can see to which other keywords the word keyword is related. So for example, keyword analysis. I click on keyword analysis here. I see the connection between them. And as I can see, I'm on very low positions here. Okay, so this is probably not worth targeting at this point because Google shows me for these positions, but not really yet at the top. And it's going to be very hard to get from the page number 9 to the page number 1. So if I want to kind of work on my organic search engine optimization strategies, this is not a very good choice. So I'm going to skip it for now. All right, let me show you a really powerful approach that you can use to actually filter the results to find the keywords that have high number of impressions but low competition. Okay, and low competition in this case means that you're already on the first page and you just need a little bit to get to the very top. All right, so once we identify the goal, let's see how we can use InfraNodus to achieve it. We will go to the filter panel here, and this is a really powerful new feature that I want to show you also. And what I'm going to do first is that I'm going to select the keywords with the high number of impressions, so 1,794 and more. That's quite high, and that's only in the US maybe. So I highlight that. Okay, so I can click and see that already. Okay, if I want a high number of impressions, I should target text analysis, graph visualization, network, and so on. But now what I can do is apply another filter, and now I'm going to ask InfraNodus to show me the keywords that also have a low CTR rate from 0.1, so that means I get some clicks, to almost 3. So 3% is usually like a nice click-through rate. This is a bit below that, so this is what I want to target. I click highlight. What happens here is that it actually shows more keyword combinations. So what I should do is go into the content filters and ask InfraNodus to filter the statements that contain all the selected tags. So it shows me like an overlap, an intersection of those tags. I'm going to see the search queries with the high number of impressions, but low number of click-through rate, but where I still get some clicks. Okay, so I ask it to show me the intersection. I click highlight, and what do we see here? Network visualization tool. And this is exactly the strategy I used to get to the top of Google search results, because I did that before, obviously, and this is how I identified it as a highly attractive keyword combination. And so I made a page on that, and then now it's showing up in the Google search results. So this is pretty cool. But as you can see, I only have one keyword combination that has a high number of impressions and a relatively okay CTR rate. So what I can also do is that I can change the filter and ask it, okay, show me the number of impressions that are from 200 to 1,700. So this is not bad also. And I will keep that filter on, so it shows me the overlap, and then I click highlight, and here I have 31 different keyword combinations that I can use to promote my tool. All right. So there I can see, all right, so there's this AI text analysis is pretty big. And I can see I'm on the second page for it, or on the first page, because I have the page position here, the average page position, 6, 7, and so on. So this is, again, like a confirmation that I should probably focus on that. In fact, I'm going to select this and copy that to my project notes as well, so I don't forget to use it. Okay, I'm gonna move it here. Then also, what other keywords combinations? Let's see, network visualization I have, but for example, graph, I don't have yet. And maybe graph, what else could it be connected to? So you see here, it shows me the connections to all the other keywords. If I want to clean this graph a little bit, I have another option. I can go to the filter panel and I can ask InfraNodus to filter and recalculate analytics. That means that it will show me this overlap, but it will not show me only this overlap and nothing else. So I select that filter here, and then I click filter, and now I have fewer nodes on the graph, so that means it's easier for me to kind of analyze this, because I don't have all the other stuff, all the other noise. All right, so here I can start adding stuff. For example, text analysis. This is another thing. I have text analysis AI already, but network text analysis, I'm on the 3rd position, could move a little bit higher. So I'm gonna select that and save it to the graph. Then I will see, can I rate for AI for just text analysis? No, not really. So I should target AI text analysis, because I guess I'm not even showing on the first 5 pages for text analysis, so it's not worth for me competing for it. This is what I mean when we target low competition keywords. Low competition in this context means that I'm already ranking quite high for those, like on the first 2 pages. All right, then I'm gonna analyze a little bit more stuff. So for example, here I have analyzer analyzer. Let's see, AI text analyzer. So this is another keyword combination I can use, AI text analyzer. I'm going to save it to my notes here. Okay, we got that one. And then let me see some other ones. For example, graph is a big keyword here. It means it's connecting a lot of different topics. So graph analysis, AI. Okay, great. I'm going to use this keyword combination and promote myself with that because as you can see, the average position is 11. It means I'm almost on the first page. So just moving to the first page will already give me much more clicks. And then what other ones? Graph network. So network graph tool, network graph software, network graph tools. But this is a little bit more general because sometimes it's about analyzing networks. So I'm probably going to skip that. But just in case, I'm going to copy this one from the first page because maybe some of the audience will be interested in that. And also what we have here is Obsidian Graph View plugin. As you can see, InfraNodus shows quite high for this, but not at the very top. So maybe I should target this as well. And specifically this keyword combination, Obsidian Graph View plugins, because this is really relevant for what I'm talking about. So I'm going to save this as well here to the project notes. Okay, so then once I analyze everything, I also look at some other keywords, interpretation, graph interpretation AI. This is actually pretty cool. I should also save that, graph interpretation AI. Let me just copy this again here and then paste it here. Okay, and do we have anything else that is worth analyzing here? Tool, map, analyzer. Maybe with map, let's see, map, mind map. Text to mind map, but I'm on the 4th page, so it's not worth focusing on it right now. This is high competition, it means if it's so low. And then inside generator, let's see how good we're here. No, AI inside generator also quite low, so not good focus on it right now. Also thematic analysis tool. This is pretty good. AI thematic analysis, 6, 7 position, 11. This is very good. I should target that as well. So now that I have a few keywords here saved, I can review them and kind of see that, okay, I should focus on AI text analysis tool. This is my first thing. Then graph analysis AI, network graph tools, Obsidian graph plugin, graph interpretation, and AI thematic analysis. For all of those keywords combinations, I'm ranking on the first page, sometimes on the second page. It means low competition because only a little bit of effort will give me really good results. Like I don't have to be moving from page number 5 to page number 1 because that would be really hard. And then once I do that, it means that I'm going to create content on this topic, and then Google will index the website for this content, and hopefully then it will show it much higher in the search results. So how do you actually create this content? Let me show you this also. So I will open the InfraNodus page and I will show you how I already started implementing this strategy. So here in the list of keywords, we had a thematic analysis. Okay, so what I did, I created a page here, thematic analysis. And here it's something about the framework that is used to perform thematic analysis and how InfraNodus can be helpful there. And as you can see, I did like a little mistake here. I didn't really mention AI a lot because I'm ranking for AI thematic analysis, not for just thematic analysis. So that means that perhaps this page could be modified by adding something about AI here, making it more about AI. What I did actually at the beginning was make it more general, hoping that maybe it's going to show up for thematic analysis AI just because Google knows that InfraNodus is about AI. But if it doesn't work and if it doesn't get me to the top of search results later in a few weeks, I'm going to add AI here on that page. And what I'm also going to do is that if I have any other pages of on InfraNodus, like for example here I have a use case page on thematic analysis that uses InfraNodus, I will also link to that page from this page. Okay, so that means that I'm going to tell Google that look, there are other pages linking to it, and that means that it's relevant. And when I link, I will use a thematic analysis like this here in the link to make sure that Google knows that I'm actually mentioning the keywords I want to rank for in the link. And if you have any other websites, like for instance, I have another website which is more like exploration of different topics related to network science. And here I'm also going to post articles on thematic analysis where I'm going to link to InfraNodus, to that new page, and I will use the keywords in the link so that Google knows that it should rank InfraNodus for the search query, and then it means that it will also get signals from other websites that they're linking to it, so that means that probably it's highly relevant. And by the way, this approach can also work really well if you want to promote your content in the output of LLMs or AI chatbots, because then when they see that you have content that is talking about a certain topic, like thematic analysis in this case, but you're also injecting dimensions of your tool or your product, in this case InfraNodus, then it will train on this data. So then it will know that when it's talking about thematic analysis, and if the users ask it about like which tools can I use for thematic analysis, hopefully it's gonna also recommend InfraNodus as well, because it's actually really useful for that. So this is how this approach works. I hope you find this introduction interesting and that you can try it out with your own data. If you don't have Google Search Console results, what you can also do is use a tool like Ahrefs, for instance, or SEMrush. These are two most popular tools that you can use to get information about various keywords. And what you can do here is to actually use the Keyword Explorer tool. So for example, you can type in something like AI thematic analysis here to see what are the keywords that people use when they search for this. And then you will visualize it here, and then you can export them as a CSV file and perform the same analysis. You want to target the words that have low competition and that at the same time have a high number of impressions. So you can also use other data sources for it. Like you don't have to wait until Google Search Console populates your console with the queries that people use to find your website. If you have 0 results, you can use a tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush to get this data out and then to analyze information using this data. All right, so let me know if you have any comments or questions in the comments to this video, and I will also link to the full tutorial in the description to this video so you can read it and follow it step by step. Thank you.